What's going on, everybody? Sam Cigar Man checking in, and I have a special guest today. This is my good friend Sean,
How's it going?
who is also part of the Pub Gods. If you're not familiar with Pub Gods, it is this guy and his father, Billy Beers, and they travel around to different craft breweries throughout Florida and sampling different craft beers, and they give a little bit their opinions on the drink and everything, and where to go when there's going to be a good deal, things like that. So if you're in Florida, look up Pub Gods, follow my friend here, Sean, and they'll take you on a great adventure. And now I'm going to turn it over and allow Mr. Pub Gods. Tell them about yourself.
Well, yeah, so we mainly cover Florida, but being originally from the New England area, we cover the whole craft beer spectrum. Recently got more and more into doing some wines. There's a great wine place here in Naples, Florida, called The Cave Wine Bar and Bistro. It's fantastic. It's cigar friendly, to my knowledge, which is always great. And smoking these Plasencia cigars. Plasencia was nice enough to team up with a good friend of mine and his wife, who's battling cancer right now, and for every stick that they're selling, they're donating a portion of the sale per cigar towards her medical bills, which I think is great. But yeah, for Pub Gods, it was something that I'd been working on for a little while, and the COVID hit, and my dad and I wanted to do something together, and so we came up. My mantra has always been, my nickname, SV, and then for this, my dad plays the character of Billy Beers, if you will, and that's the personalities that come out. Obviously started around Florida. This whole COVID thing hit. Had to do something. Not working as much, and or at all, if you will. I mean, it really killed a lot of businesses. So getting out to a whole bunch of different craft beer fest, or the breweries, and exploring the world that is craft beer, and have to say, I absolutely love it.
So as you guys travel around Florida, is there any craft brewery that you have gone to that you did not like?
That I did not like. Yeah.
You don't have to name
No,
it.
no. I can't. I liked them a lot, and my issue with them going back, and I've gone there quite a few. Early on, they were one of my favorite breweries. That's really slipped down the list. I've been there a couple of times. They were missing a lot of taps. Didn't look like the owner really cared anymore, and I honestly hate to say that word, but that's just the way it looked. And it's hard to say that, but when missing taps going and beers that he had just weren't, it didn't seem like they were hitting thing. And then he started focusing more on his full liquor license, and his bartenders just didn't know how to make a drink. I mean, I'm 100% honest. They just did not know how to make a drink. Their smoked old fashioned was done a little bit differently. It was I don't know, just way too much smoke or whatever they were doing to it. Just it wasn't hitting. I think they used the wrong bourbon. They used way too much Knob Creek. Not knocking Knob Creek. I like it.
Love Knob Creek.
I like it in certain drinks, but for me, an old fashioned or something like that. You go with like a Buffalo Trace, or a Woodford Reserve, or something like that, or a Wild Turkey, a Eagle Rare, or a good one, or a Blanton's, and so forth. But I mean, no, Knob Creek is great as well, but I think they just did too much of that, and then threw in too much smoke, and then they tried to overdo it with a maple cured bacon piece in there, and just it was a little overdone. But you know what? They made some great beers, but recently they've just fallen downhill, and I think they've gone away from their identity and what got them to be pretty successful in the first place.
Is there any one craft beer that you have tried on your many adventures, you and Billy Beers, that really just stood out that you would go back and drink over and over and over?
Oh yeah, quite a few. But I'm just going to keep this one in Southwest Florida for now. I've been to a lot of breweries, and I'm just going to keep it local here and to support the Southwest Florida guys here on this one. South Cypress Brewing Company, which is located inside of the Naples Brew House. Mm-hmm. Mike Rose, the brewer and owner of the place.
Mike Rowe from Mike
Rose.
Oh, not the TV guy.
No.
Oh, okay.
So Mike is a Michigan guy. Wolverines. I know some people aren't.
Notre Dame, baby.
I had to get that part in there, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I mean he's won quite a few awards. He has a beer called Miss Maggie's Lemon Meringue Pie, and he quite literally owes a few lemon meringue pies in the vat, if you will, and in the fermentation, and it comes out tasting like a liquefied lemon meringue pie.
Wow.
All right, and then he has another one called I Don't Guava Funk.
That sounds great.
He's won a couple of awards for both of those. His stouts are phenomenal. He just did a liquefied s'mores, a whiskey barrel aged liquefied s'mores stout. That was phenomenal. I think that was carrying right around somewhere between a 10 and a 12 APV.
Wow. Now I like peanut butter chocolate stouts.
Okay.
So is there any good one of those around here?
Yeah. You have Fort Myers Brewing Company comes to mind.
By the way, isn't that where we were last night?
Yes.
There you go. Shout out to them. So you want to...
Millennial Brewing Company. He has one that they come out with every so often. But theirs is a little bit different. Theirs is a peanut butter coconut chocolate cluster. Or it, when you taste it, right on the palate, it hits you with, okay, I'm literally having a liquefied Reese's peanut butter cup. And then on the back, that toasted note of the coconut and that sort of thing really comes through. Oh, and really makes for a nice palatable beer.
Nice. And so that's cigar cough, not COVID. So today with our cigars, we are actually enjoying a craft brew, or at least I am. Or
we both are, yeah.
Both are.
Sam Adams
Okay.
is still considered craft beer.
All right, so
you are having
get this on the camera
the
here.
double shot espresso porter from 8 Foot Brewing Company in Cape Coral, Florida. They teamed up with Bones Coffee Company, which you are familiar with.
Yes.
And used their espresso beans. And they also teamed up and put this in Willet barrels. Willet pot still barrels. This was the second run of it. And I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed.
Now, I do like Bones Coffee, and I order it quite often. Besides, I also support Navy Joe Coffee Company, which I'm a huge fan of because I used to serve with a gentleman that owns that company. So these are my two main coffee companies that I drink a lot of coffee from. But Bones Coffee comes from Florida, and so I think that's why they partnered up with them.
Probably.
And they have many great flavors to choose from, coffee-wise. I'm going to take a smell here, sniff test, if you will.
And just for you, we got something special as well. We brought out a couple of special beers. That one's special because that's a small batch release. They don't have any more of it right now. He'll probably do another run at some point. Right. it's the double shot, as he calls it, the double shot dessert porter series.
Smells good.
Really, really good beer.
I get a little bit of coffee in there. Maybe some woody notes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's adult coffee.
Yeah, adult coffee. I salute you. I'm sorry. I salute 8 Foot Brewing. There you go. Double shot Desert Porter Series. This is #phenomenal. Excellent. If you can find it, pick you up one.
Yeah, it's a. I don't know when he's doing the next release. Roger, the owner and brewer, is a good friend. If you want to follow Pub Gods, I normally post all his releases that he's doing. But the very small batch, he doesn't do pre-orders. You have to be there when he's doing the release. And he always does a knockout job with them. But we have something special from one of the older craft breweries in the country, and this is we're going to take on a little ride up to New England. Samuel Adams this year put out a new beer for the fall season. They went with the Jacko Pumpkin Ale. Well, I actually, not gonna lie, I really like the color combo.
Yes, I have to agree. The labeling, the colors, it really pops. And
I'm
just
just
have to find me some so I can try it.
I'm just noticing that if you guys look at the bottom of this bottle here, you got the angry pumpkins onto the bottom.
I believe those are called jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah, same thing.
No, it's different. A pumpkin is whole. A jack-o'-lantern has eyes cut out and bad teeth. I know. I raised 3 kids. I had to cut their pumpkins and call them jack-o'-lanterns.
Good point. Okay.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. I mean, come on. So, this is what the beer looks like. I have not had this yet. I just got this. It just hit market. So, gonna give this a go. What I get on the nose of this beer, cinnamon, vanilla, little nutmeg, and pumpkin. It's not too pumpkin forward, which I like. It seems like the aromatics are well put together, but I really get a lot of vanilla, a lot of nutmeg. Yeah. The first taste, you get that you get like that cinnamon sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
That's in a little bit of a bite. Now you get the nutmeg, you get the vanilla. You definitely get the pumpkin, and the pumpkin kind of sneaks in. Like if you have a pumpkin pie and you have a piece of pumpkin pie with whipped cream, it was just like that.
Oh,
like
that sounds so good right now.
Like the creaminess is, and just in one bite, it just sneaks in with like that vanilla flavor, that I'm getting. And so, I would recommend going and get this beer. It's not too pumpkin forward. It's running at 4.4 APV.
Wow.
Means right now you can get them in the fall harvest variety pack. I don't know if they're going to how else they're going to be packaging this, but this is how they presented it thus far. Knowing Samuel Adams, they're pretty popular, so I'm assuming that they're going to have these in 6-packs at some point.
Well, I know that, and I buy it every year. Every year, Sam Adams comes out with Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always buy a case every year for me to drink because my birthday is in October.
Yes, it is.
So, it just came out. I've been chugging through a case of Oktoberfest from Sam Adams. And you've had it before, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if
I
you
have this year's release, too.
If you could compare the Oktoberfest to the Jacko from Sam Adams, which one Is there a comparison or a huge difference?
I don't really know if you can compare the two. They're in two different categories, at least in my opinion. And Sam Adams with this beer went with the pumpkin flavoring. So that I'm putting that right into all the
By itself.
yeah, I'm putting that in that pumpkin category. That all,
Okay.
and then what they also normally do is enter in that traditional Belgian German style, Oktoberfest. What is, a full style lager,
Right.
or just a really really great beer. Or I always enjoyed it. Sitting around. I mean, hopefully we get to watch football this year. But last year sitting around watching football, I have a couple of Steins, put it in there, and just sip away. I mean, I'm sure you probably saw some of those pictures when I was
Yes.
smoking cigars in the condo and getting loaded up on a couple of brews.
And this is why I come to the man himself for all this great intel, because I don't know crap about craft beers. But Pub Gods he knows the stuff. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. So where can your fans and maybe future fans that are watching this come find you? I see on Instagram at Pub Gods, correct?
At Instagram, it's at the Pub Gods. On Facebook, look up Pub Gods, and you'll find us there.
And I'll make sure I tag that down below when I post this video up.
I
Just remind me.
appreciate that.
Yes.
And what we do, we cover, and it's now just not craft beer. Craft beer is the main focus, but the main show, my dad and I, Billy Beer, get a lot of father and son banter. We'll talk sports. I mean, he's been away for a couple of weeks, but I've been covering some stuff here in Southwest Florida. A few awesome releases that have come out, South Cypress Brewing Company in October is celebrating their 5th anniversary, and they got me covering the cornhole tournament that they're having for it. And actually, it's kind of interesting. During the Bonita Springs Brew Fest here in Florida, one of my friends that works for another brewery called Riptide, which Riptide makes some fantastic IPAs. They have a double IPA called the Kraken that comes in at like 9.5 or 10.
Wow.
And that thing packs a punch.
Does
let
it
me
have
tell
rum
you.
in it?
No.
No?
So, he and I at Bonita Brew Fest, we were, there was a cornhole set up, and I made a bet with him. And I made a bet and said, all right, if I win, you owe me a growler. If you beat me, I get you a growler of your favorite beer. We shook on it. We had like 40 or 50 people surrounding watching us because we had a really good game.
That's
and,
awesome.
he pulled ahead. I tied and then pulled ahead. Then the last bag, I was up. My last throw, we were tied at like. Yeah, we were tied at like 9, and so I missed the whole next one. Second one I missed. Third one, and I got a swish.
Nice.
And that helped me out. And the fourth one, I just threw it up in the air and just did the walk off, basically. And like when one of these guys in the MLB know they've hit a home run, just like, yep, that's good. I just walked away and went in. He's like, God damn. So yeah, I ended up winning that. And so he and I have got to work on this. We're trying to do it. He wants to do a revenge match, but it was a lot of fun. He's a great guy, and it was a lot of fun to do that. And we're trying to work on doing having our own cornhole league. Cornhole's become huge right now.
Well, that's because you got nothing else to do, and it keeps you socially distanced.
Well, and for the last year, I mean, the Professional Cornhole League, or the ACL, or whatever they call it, is it's just growing. It's on. I think NBC NBC Sports carries it. ESPN.
Are you kidding me? They have cornhole, also known as beanbag toss,
Yeah,
on TV.
they do.
You got to be kidding me.
They got their own network, and it's pumping out. I gamble on it often, so I know. Oh, you can follow the Pub God Sportsbook as well. That's coming pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
Kentucky Derby's coming up. I also got a
my
horse
favorite. Yes.
book. Not ready to really make any predictions on that yet, but I can say that I think it wouldn't be a bad bet to go ahead and go place some money on Tis the Law.
But you didn't hear it from us or him specifically.
Or
Anything?
you could.
Well,
You take my. I mean, if you want, there's a little tip there.
for
That's
the
all I'm
years
giving
I've known him. Now I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky area, so I'm used to cigar smoke, cough, not COVID. I'm used to watching the Kentucky Derby and seeing it every year. Now I no longer live there, but for all the years that I've known Sean, he always reaches out to me and gives me like the lowdown on the horses and everything, and which one that he would pick to come in first place. And I say in the past couple of years, you've hit every single one on the nose. So maybe you should take his advice. Pub Gods knows. Hashtag. I just started a new hashtag.
I
for it.
appreciate that.
So let's wrap it up here. Is there anything else you would like to add to your fans and future fans?
Yeah, one big thing, everyone. Right now, breweries all across America, craft breweries all across America, are all getting hurt from this whole COVID thing and shutdowns. I'm going to keep it here in Florida. If you could contact, the state of Florida, just contact the governor's office, look it up on Google, and tell them to open up the breweries, the bars, and the lounges to help all these guys out. It's a service industry that it's hard to see, and if this keeps on going, I know the Florida Craft Brewers Guild has said we could lose upward to 150 breweries, and it could cost about 3,500 to 5,000 jobs.
Wow.
There's already a lot of people on unemployment here, and
Right.
The unemployment system in Florida is not all that great to begin with. But let's help support these small businesses, guys. The food trucks, the mom and pop stores, or whatever you can to get out there. But if you really could help out the craft breweries by throwing some support their way, and
How
tell
about
them to
cigar
stay open up.
lounges?
World famous cigar bar, same thing. And when I say lounges, same thing. Tell me you want the breweries open, you want the lounges open, and you want the bars open.
And there's a special guy that works at World Famous in, is it Fort Myers?
Yeah, they're all in Fort Myers. Yeah, Fort
Okay.
Myers and one in Cape Coral.
But Nick Peretta,
Oh,
specifically, we're going to shout out to Nick Peretta. So, which one does he work at so that they know to go there and give him a hard time?
Well, he does work at all of them, but right now with everything, he is primarily based at the Gulf Coast Town Center. Excuse me, beer burp.
Not COVID related.
Right. He's located at the Gulf Coast Town Center location in Fort Myers, right next to the Outback. They're open till 10 o'clock. Unfortunately, they got to stop serving alcohol at a certain time. But if you can, give them a shout. I'm sure Sam here will put up the number that you can call, and you can order these Plasencia cigars and really help give to a great cause. Every one of these cigars that we're smoking, like I said, they're giving part of the proceeds towards Nick's wife's medical bills, which I think is
I think that is
absolutely fantastic.
awesome. Shout out to Plasencia Cigars. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing this for our good friend Nick Peretta
Exactly.
and for his wife.
Right.
Especially during this time
Exactly.
with everything going on, that says a lot. And as a consumer of cigars, that makes me want to buy more of your product and enjoy it more, knowing that you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart to help out our good friend Nick
Right.
and his wife.
And I know they've raised quite a bit amount of money so far. So just keep it coming. Any support that they can get would be fantastic.
Well, Mr. Sean, Mr. Pub Gods himself, I appreciate you allowing me to come over and do a one-on-one interview with you
Appreciate it.
and share some tasty craft brews and some cigars. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem, and it's great to be here. I know. Sorry, we're stuck here in the Southwest Florida.
Oh, it's terrible
Heat,
weather.
but,
The sun's out, golf course,
You want to show everyone everything?
alligator chasing down some golfer over there. But
Oh yeah, I mean that happens a lot. Normally it's me. And everyone just enjoy it, and we're gonna get through all this craziness together. But I always say, one beer at a time.
and as I
Drink
always say,
responsibly, please.
as I always say, no matter how life treats you, just grab a cigar and chill. So, take care, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.